Back in 1932, Australia, the land of rugged beauty, declared war. Not against another country, but against a group of flightless birds. Emus. Yes, you heard that right. Today, we're diving into the hilarious and almost unbelievable story of the Emu War. Buckle up. If you enjoy listening to true stories like this, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more unbelievable true stories. In one of the most bizarre chapters of military history, Australian soldiers were called in to fight thousands of emus. Yes, soldiers versus birds. What started as an attempt to protect farmland spiraled into a conflict that would be remembered as the Emu War, an event that still raises eyebrows and questions nearly a century later. Let's dive in. The year was 1932. The Great Depression had hit hard, and Australian farmers in Western Australia were struggling to survive. To make matters worse, there was an unexpected enemy threatening their crops: emus. Yes, emus. These large, flightless birds were wreaking havoc on wheat fields, devouring crops and destroying fences. Over 20,000 of these feathery invaders had flocked to the farmlands after migrating from the inland deserts in search of food. Imagine you're a farmer, already struggling with drought and poverty, and now you've got a herd of oversized birds trampling through your wheat fields. What do? Well, the farmers had an idea. They called in the military. Enter Major G.P.W. Meredith of the Royal Australian Artillery. The government, looking to help the farmers, approved a small-scale military operation. Armed with Lewis machine guns and thousands of rounds of ammunition, the soldiers set out to eliminate the emu threat. It was supposed to be quick and easy. After all, how hard could it be to take down a bunch of birds? But as the soldiers soon found out, emus weren't just big birds. They were fast, agile, and surprisingly difficult to hit. The first battle took place on November 2, 1932. The soldiers spotted a group of 50 emus and opened fire. However, the emus quickly scattered, running in all directions, and only a few were killed. It turns out, emus had a secret weapon: speed. They could sprint at over 30 miles per hour and zigzag like pro athletes. The soldiers, lugging around heavy machine guns, had trouble keeping up. Over the next few days, the soldiers made several more attempts. They even mounted guns on trucks to chase the emus. But the birds, in their bizarre but effective tactics, continued to outmaneuver the military. The trucks couldn't keep up with the rough terrain, and the emus kept escaping. By the end of the first week, the Australian Army had fired thousands of rounds, but only managed to kill about a few hundred emus. The rest? Well, they were still out there, eating crops and probably laughing to themselves. Eventually, the military had to admit defeat. Major Meredith later remarked that the emus were like tank-like creatures that could take several bullets and keep running. After just a month, the soldiers withdrew, having lost the war to the emus. In the end, the Emu War was deemed a colossal failure. The birds had won. The Australian government tried other methods to control the emu population, like bounty systems, but nothing ever came close to the war. The Emu War remains a quirky piece of Australian history. It's a story that seems too ridiculous to be true, but it's a reminder that sometimes nature can outsmart even the best-laid plans of humans. Today, emus are a protected species in Australia, and the tale of their victorious war against the military is part of the country's folklore. So, next time you hear someone talking about unbeatable odds, just remember, if an army of soldiers with machine guns couldn't beat a bunch of emus, anything is possible. And that's the story of the Great Emu War. If you enjoyed this wild trip through history, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more unbelievable true stories. Until next time.